What's going on, guys? Hope you're all having a good Wednesday. We're going to make this a very quick show, so please drop in any questions and thoughts you have as we go along the way, because I am still trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I've got a ton of lineups that I've got to go through, and I will update the premium Discord as I always do, but I don't have the ability to stay on forever, and Sheets is going to be out today, so it's making it a little bit more difficult. Anyway, we're going to get to it. Let's talk about some plays. My guess is I'll probably leave here around 6:10 Eastern, maybe 6:15. So I'm going to go through what I'm doing. I'll give you guys a quick glance at my lineups, and hopefully I don't get in trouble. This is what I've got right now. You can just see my exposures. Again, I put this in the premium, but I'm going to update this as the premium, just scrolling down so you guys get an idea, a little bit of what I'm doing. There's a lot of speculation in my lineup builds right now, and we will see if that bears fruit or not in a little bit. Excuse me. There's my tax guy. All right, so here's what I'm going to talk about here. So again, look, if you can get to Luka, I think Luka is a significantly better spend up than everybody else is. My second favorite, because he's a little cheaper, is Donovan Mitchell. I really like the idea of trying to get one of those guys. In order to do that, we're going to need some value. Josh Hart being questionable for the Knicks. Look, it's gross, but it's always going to be gross. So let's just go to that Knicks game for a second, because we have no Sims already. So Hartenstein is already a very strong play in a game that should be competitive. I already like Randall on the other side too. And Claxton on the other side. Mitchell revenge. Yeah, but it's not really the Mitchell revenge. It's just the fact that there's nobody else on the team who really initiates offense. So that's where I'm at. What's up to MJ? But yeah, there's maybe if he was in Utah, but really, what's his revenge? Really, the revenge is on the other side. It's Markkanen and Sexton, who were given up as if they were nothing. So I like Markkanen and Sexton. In fact, I'll share my FanDuel build right now for those of you who haven't seen it yet. You can see Markkanen, Sexton, and Mitchell all in that lineup, and Luka, by the way. A little different on FanDuel. I'm gonna have to actually make some changes, but oh my God, don't freeze. My computer's freezing. Here we go. Okay, a lot of open tabs today. A lot of stuff going on. Anyway, so the priorities for me are if you can get to those spend ups. I really like this New York game, and if Hart is out, as gross as it is, whether he starts or not, Grimes, DiVincenzo, especially Quickly, who's going to look like a really good play, but I do like Quickly the best. Grimes, look, we don't have that many players at 3,700, whatever. I will take a stab or two on Taj Gibson if he starts. I still don't think he's going to play more than like 15 minutes, but we're really starved for value today. So that's what I'm doing, is trying to use some of these guys. It's going to be, again, if Hart is out, Grimes, DiVincenzo, not in the same lineup, some more Quickly. And then also I think it solidifies Hartenstein, and I think it makes Julius Randle an even better play, as well as Jalen Brunson, potentially, maybe not as much of a boost, but I already think he's in play as it is. So that game is becoming a little bit more appealing to me by the minute. I do like Claxton, as I mentioned, on the other side at 6,200. I like Bridges. And I don't mind if you want to take a shot on any of these guys. I like Cam Johnson as well. The only problem is it's a little crowded in that front court. So I'm going to make a note here to add some Cam Johnson, because I didn't get to it in my first, but I'm going to go back to it. The other piece of value that's interesting is the Jalen Smith thing. Again, it's just because we don't have value. This is not some sort of absolute lock play. This is not some sort of, oh, we know he's going to crush, he's 4K. No, we just have to take shots on some of this value if you want to spend up for some of these guys. If you want to do a more middling build, which you can do, I'll just say the guys who I like for the middling build, more middling-ish build, meaning like the highest spend ups are in the 8Ks. Claxton, Grant Williams, Derek Jones Jr., Kawhi Leonard as the 8,700 spend up, and 8,300 you have DeRozan. Actually, 8,100 you have DeRozan. 7,900 is 7,900 Vucevic? Yeah, 7,900 Vucevic. These are the guys who I'm considering for the middling-ish build. And then still, you're going to need plays like maybe Caruso, Dennis Schroeder is another guy in there. Terry Rozier, if you want to spend less than 9K, but still have a medium-ish build. Terry Rozier at 8,900, I like quite a bit. And then for the spend-ups, I mentioned, if you're going to try, you're going to have to make some uncomfortable plays to get to some of the 10K plus stuff, the Luka and Mitchell especially. I mean, you look at it, point per dollar, Luka and Mitchell are the best point per dollar plays in the slate. Back in the day, if you used to have a guy at 12K who was the best point per dollar play on the slate, you would like lock that guy in. But we don't have the value we've used to anymore, because DraftKings has made it incredibly hard on us. Congratulations to them. They did a good job. It's just frustrating. Very, very difficult. And they might need to make it a little bit more flexible, because people are having a really hard time with it, which is actually a benefit to those of us who are going to grind it out and those of us who do it for a living. But still, You look at the value, and it's just everything is at the top. So I'm just going to go through some of the highest owned plays right now and talk through where I'll be. Derek Jones Jr., let's say he's 30%. I'll be probably slightly below. I'll be slightly below that. George Niang, look, the guy I actually know a little bit. George Niang, I think that I am going to be below the field, but I am definitely open to George Niang and Sam Merrill. Sam Merrill is the one getting less ownership, and I actually kind of like him. I also think there's a little bit more value at the forward and power forward spots, as you can see, than there is at the guard spot. So I think you could use Sam Hauser. I said Sam Hauser, but Sam Merrill and Sam Hauser as your value, you guys. Hauser, I'll probably be right about with the field. Mitchell, again, want to get ahead of the field. Jonathan Isaac, I'm using on FanDuel. I'm not using him on DraftKings. Jalen Smith, I'll be above the field. Alex Caruso, I'll probably be near the field, maybe a little bit above. I don't like it. It's just we're desperate. Julius Randle, definitely above the field. Above the field, Hartenstein. This is current ownerships. Mikal Bridges, sadly, below the field. Below the field on Boucher at the moment, although I'm open to maybe that changing. Again, get your questions in because I'm only going to be here for another 10 minutes or so. And I'm just going through the owned guys because I mentioned the plays that I like. LeVert is another one. I'm probably going to be slightly below the field, but I'm definitely open to getting a little bit of exposure as it's harder to get to Mitchell on DraftKings than it is on FanDuel. Jabari Smith, if Tari Eason's out, I'll be above the field. If not, I'll be below the field and I'll play Tari Eason. I'll probably be below the field on Brooks, above the field on Drummond, above the field on Hield. If Eason plays, I'll be above that number. Malachi Flynn, I'll be below, but I don't mind it because you're desperate for value to spend up because these spend ups are worth it. I believe tonight. Kobe White, I didn't get to much, but I have no problem if you did. I got some more of the Vooch and DeRozan, but man, Kobe White's been balling out. Maybe the right thing is to do just play Kobe White. I don't know where I'm going to end up on him just yet. Below the field on Horton Tucker. Below the field on DraftKings on Nick Richards right now, but I don't mind it. I just prefer Nick Claxton. Emmanuel Quickly, but way above the field Carter, above the field DeRozan, below the field DraftKings Sexton, above the field FanDuel Sexton, and Vooch I mentioned above the field. Melton currently below the field, but definitely open to changing that. Taj Gibson, if he starts, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to just play him and hope I get 15 fantasy points in 15 minutes, I guess. I'll be below the field on Anderson, below the field on Carter, below the field on Banchero, below the field on, I guess Cam Johnson I may end up above the field on. Below the field Murray, below the field Hayward. So basically you got the gist of my things. I will play some of these other guys that are Kawhi at really low ownership. I'll be way above the field there. I'll be way above the field Bruce Brown. I'll be way above the field. I'll be above the field on RJ Barrett. I'm just saying the above ones now. I'll be above on Peyton Pritchard speculatively. I'll probably end up with more Drew Holiday than the field, but these are just my above and below game. That's pretty much most of the guys I think are relevant to mention. I do love Embiid tonight for what it's worth. Love him, but I just prefer the other spend ups more. Luka with no Kyrie is just hard to ignore against the Clippers team that just gives up a million fantasy points, but the game should stay close and they're at home and you've got a nice run back with Kawhi. You just need to find this super value. So that's sort of a little rundown of what I'm doing. What are you guys' questions? What are you guys thinking about tonight? And let's see. Brendan is saying he thinks Mitchell's out. Okay, well, that's going to change the entire slate. So if Mitchell's out, now let me just double check that. Did we get the alert while I was doing that? So if Mitchell is out, it's going to be probably Craig Porter Jr. and it's probably going to be okay. So this is going to be priority play stuff. Craig Porter Jr. Obviously, again, he's thinner maybe, but I mean, not thinner. I guess he's still totally fine. But I think we're going to go with, and now Niang gets a boost too. Oh my God. So Cleveland in a good matchup is actually where you want to go. So I'm going to probably say Cleveland minimum 2, likely you get to 3 or 4. LeVert. So in order of favorites, it's probably going to turn into, let's see what the price on, where is my man, Craig Porter Jr.? Craig Porter Jr. currently with no projection. They'll get that straightened away. I'll have LeVert 1, Porter Jr. number 2, Struss number 3. And then I'm going to get probably a little bit more of Sam Merrill And those are the main ones for me. And then Niang would be the next one for me. So yes, we have a little bit of value now. That's the order of which I have it ranked. Pop in any other questions or thoughts, because now I've got to go rebuild a million things. I really liked the Mitchell play. And now I like the rest of the team. And now you hope the game stays close, which means we want to look at the other side and what we can get. Again, Sexton now is going to get a boost for me, as is Horton Tucker, as is Walker Kessler. I think this game becomes very, very stackable. And I think that's what you start with is Utah and Cleveland. So that's going to be the basis of where I'm building. And the good news is that game is at 7 Eastern. Hopefully they'll give us a starting lineup early and we can figure out what we want to do, because I really think that's where the slate is going to start now that we have the value. And now we can get to Luka. Luka, who was projected at like 3% ownership, is now going to be more popular. But I still am going to get to him because I think he's a phenomenal play. I love the Kawhi run back as well. But that's pretty much what I've got here. I mean, again, it depends on the starting lineup, so we're not going to know until we see it. Let's just check RotoWire, see if they have anything for anybody yet. Doesn't look like, let's see, oops. Let me scroll back up. Yeah, we've got only the Magic's lineup confirmed, which we already knew. I'm going to get less of Jalen Suggs than I was. I actually had some Anthony Black as well, but mostly Jalen Suggs. And I like Wendell Carter, but I think I'm going to start using the Cleveland value a little bit more. I don't think that Jared Allen that certainly does not get a boost from Mitchell being out, but he was a fine play anyway. Oh, Sheets, what's up, man?
Yeah, I just texted you. I was going to hop on, and I was going to ask you if we have any news on Donovan Mitchell, and I guess we haven't, huh?
We do. He's out. Yes.
All right, and is that 7 o'clock?
It's at 7 o'clock. Yes. So we don't have the stuff yet. I'm going to probably leave because I got on a little bit early, and I'm got a million lineups. A lot of them have Mitchell in it. So,
well, forget that. I mean, they also don't have the other guys who are supposed to play. So who did you talk about as far as like who you might want to play in Cleveland?
So my order rank for Cleveland, without knowing the starting lineup, assuming that we get the starting lineup later, I would go LeVert number 1, number 2. I would go Craig Porter Jr. Maybe even if he doesn't start. Number 3 or 2A would be Max Struss.
Yeah.
And then I would get to Niang. And then I would probably get to Sam Merrill. Actually, I'd probably go Sam Merrill, then Niang.
Sam Merrill, huh?
I was already playing him.
Oh, wow.
So he was not. He was already in my lineups before the news. So watch him fail now with Mitchell out, and then come back and put up another 30 with Mitchell back.
What kind of player is he?
Yeah.
What kind of player is he, Sam Merrill?
Not much of one. He's 40. He's the kind that's 4,100 and has a shooting guard eligibility because most of the value was at forward. Although now it's going to look more a little bit more guards, assuming that Porter Jr. does get the start, or at least is going to project pretty well. Craig Porter Jr. will start.
Well, that news probably just came out, huh?
It just happened.
Yeah, because I see he's 6-point projection on SaberSim.
Yeah, MJ just updated us, so that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's Kobe Farrell is his Kobe's narrative play of the day. I love the narrative play, so I'm always in on it. Durane's first game in front of his dad and maybe some extra run to guard Randall. Okay. What I can't buy is Durane Finney-Smith actually having a narrative-based thing. What I can buy is the extra minutes on guarding Randall, and I can buy his dad being in there. Maybe he gets a little extra run, although I think it's a little thin. But I like the idea there. He says 30 minutes. MJ says that was 30 minutes. That was not 30 minutes ago. I was on air, and the news with Mitchell came out. At least my news alert came out on air. The Craig Porter Jr. starting if that came out 30 minutes ago, that's because then the updates have not been doing their job because I did not see that. But yeah, so those are the Cleveland guys in my order of ranking, just on spec. So now I would go Craig Porter Jr. number 1, LeVert. I think you play at least one of Porter Jr. and LeVert in all your lineups. You probably play Porter Jr. in probably all your lineups. Are you
gonna stack any Utahs with those or no?
Yeah, and that's what I like is the other side of this. You've got some really easy run backs with narratives too. We got the Markkanen and Sexton going back to Cleveland. I'm in on that. Yeah, my first build on FanDuel was Mitchell with Mitchell and Struss with Markkanen and Sexton, and now I'm going to get all over the place with it.
Who else is questionable that we don't know about? Right? What about Caruso?
He's probable. He's probably supposed to be playing. I mean,
probable. Okay, I'm
way down the priority list.
Jalen Smith.
Jalen
He's
Smith is
available.
going to fall down the priority list now that we have this, but I'm still going to play some of him.
He's available. No, I'm just looking at these Q tags on my board here. Jalen Smith, Tari Eason.
That's a legitimate questionable, and that's a boost to Jabari Smith and to a play that was going to seem okay, but now might be a little fringy. If and he's questionable too, but Deshaun Tate. But Amen Thompson's also questionable, so we really won't know that one till probably 7:45.
What do you make anything? Again, I'm just catching up, so I'm sorry I'm behind.
No problem.
What are you making of the Knicks at all with Sims going to be out?
So with Sims out, I'm really waiting on Josh Hart, who became questionable during the day.
Ooh,
which makes things a lot more interesting, because if you get Hart out, then Quickly's already a good play, and now if Hart's out, then Quickly becomes a very good play. With Sims out, I think they're going to start Taj Gibson. My plan was to throw him into one of my 3 big buy-ins and hope I get 15 points in 18 minutes or something. I am probably going to be off that train, even if he starts. I'm not sure yet, though. I still might do the way spend down value. I mean, I have Andre Drummond in all kinds of lineups.
If you didn't like any of that, what about all those Boston guys?
The Boston guys are interesting because they priced them all up almost as if Tatum was sitting. I still maintain that Kristaps is a phenomenal tournament play. No one's going to play him. Sam Hauser's going to be the one who gets some chalk. Look, he's 5,300. We need the value, and even with the Cleveland stuff, we need less of it. But I think it's still okay. I would go Porzingis, then Jaylen Brown, then Derek White, then Holiday. But Holiday, he's kind of due for a game here. It's just the problem is he always has to guard the best player, so it's just hard for him to reach his full potential. But I have it ranked in that order.
Anything for the Keita? Probably not, right?
Keita,
the center for Boston.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Not with Kristaps back. Okay.
It's probably okay. I don't think it's that bad. I'm not doing it, but Kobe's asking a question that's going to lead me to one other guy. Like, look, if Josh Hart's out, I will probably take the Quentin Grimes stuff, although I have to reassess now that all the Cleveland news came in. So that Cleveland thing really changed the whole slate. So I need to reassess once we get some projections updated. We've got, Craig Porter Jr. is going to, I'm sure, look like maybe the play of the slate. So, yes, you can absolutely play Hartenstein and Randall in the same lineup. The entire season, Julius Randle has played in 2 minutes at center. They have put a center alongside of him every single game. So he's played 2 minutes. I'm going to assume they do the same thing tonight.
Yeah, I guess Saberson is probably waiting on starters for the Cleveland.
Yeah. Except for we do know Porter's starting now, so
we do. But how is that possible if we don't know if anybody's starting? Oh, we knew the starter.
They announced it.
Oh, they announced that he was starting.
They announced that Donovan Mitchell was out and Porter would be starting.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm working with. And don't worry about if LeVert comes off the bench or not. You're still probably playing a huge amount of LeVert. They're going to need offense in that game. So, and it's a game they should win still. So it's like really interesting how it's going to work out. K9's asking last spot on FanDuel, Bruce Brown or RJ Barrett. I like Bruce Brown, but I would play at the moment. The problem is you don't know about Josh Hart yet. I still like Barrett better than Bruce Brown a little bit. If you just took all things considered. Actually, no, I like Bruce Brown they're pretty close to the same. I really think you could flip a coin, but if Hart's out, the answer is Barrett.
What is Derek White's price?
7,800.
Oh God.
Yeah, after coming off of a 40-minute, 60 or 50-something fantasy point game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just like that. That's why, look, the Porzingis thing I think makes the most sense of the spend ups there, along with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, he's fresh and all that, huh?
Yeah, he's fresh. The pace of this game is going to be tough, and if you do think that look, your initial bet would have been awesome now because I think that they're going to be
obviously.
Yeah, but no, but even speculatively, it was probably the right thing to do. Yeah, it's going to be weird, man. I think that there's a chance Peyton Pritchard plays a lot more than people think in this one. I guess that's the way I would. So he would be something. Yeah, Brendan, 3 Cavs I think is a totally sweet number. That's where I'm going to probably end up on Cavs. Probably 3 or 4, and it is going to be my number for Cavs. I'm going to have definitely some 2. I have a minimum 2 rule. But I'm definitely okay to get a little.
Wendell Carter Jr. will have his minutes monitored Wednesday per Coach Mosley.
Just like the John Morant monitored minutes.
Yeah, we're monitoring the 40th minute, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, he played 40. Yeah, but we monitored every one of them.
Yeah, we were monitoring him.
All right, I'm on the 4-minute countdown because
Merrill. Let me see. We're alive. This is this. Struce. Miami. Porter. Yeah, I guess I'll wait until like 6:30. Then I'll just
see what happens with the projection.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta wait for the projections to update a little bit before I can do anything. But I could do all this at 6.
Here we go. So Craig Porter Jr. the first. You want to hear what his SaberSim projection is? It's not an exaggeration.
Oh, I see it. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's gonna twinkle down, but that is not necessarily out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know what I'm looking at here, they're giving him a 40-point projection at 4,400.
Yeah, it's going to be hard not to keep him.
So. Oh, by the way, I know it's probably this is something I should have talked about at 12, but rather than run crunch here. But we said that Zach Collins was projecting as probably the best play like for the season so far.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually a better one yesterday.
Who was it?
On Yahoo.
Oh, it was John Morant at the minimum. Yeah.
John Morant was 10.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And there were
somebody was saying like on the other shows, like I think it was Stevie was like, you got to, John Morant, you have to have like 75% of them, 80% on Yahoo. I'm like, if you're playing on Yahoo and you don't have 100% of them, you're making every kind of mistake.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like, who didn't have them? It's like,
if you didn't have them, like you just don't know how to play DFS. Like,
well, I mean, there are people that say, I don't feel like playing 90% guy. I mean, I could see that.
A 90% guy who's going to be one of the 5 highest scoring players on the slate.
No, I know, but I mean, I've gotten stubborn before.
I've gotten stubborn, but never in that situation. I mean, if they made Luka 3K tonight,
I'd find a way to have him.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, Luka's projection is out of control, and I think it's
70.
accurate. I think 70 is accurate. I think that's what his median should be tonight, and I think that he's going to put up more than that by a lot.
I don't know, 40's a rough number, Bobby.
For Porter Jr.?
Yeah.
There's no way that's going to stick. It's going to be like 32 in a minute, I promise you. It has to be. There's no way they can keep it at 40.
Well, yeah, because it's also showing 91% owned. Well, obviously, if he's 40, then he's 90% owned. They're giving him 31.84 minutes. He's not getting 40 off of that.
How many minutes are they giving him?
It looked like 32.
Why wouldn't he get 40?
He's that good per minute?
Yeah. And he's been only playing with Mitchell and Garland. And he's still been putting up like 31, 30.
They're projecting for 19 real life points. 25.
Yeah, I think 19 is probably, that could be light actually. Now, of course, there's a path, right? Like an ankle sprain.
That's really the only path? I mean, is that accurate? I mean,
I don't think there's a path to arguing against him.
Okay.
Not on this slate. Look, if we had other value to compare with it, it's not like there's anybody else who's even in the same ballpark. You know what I mean?
Porter Jr. on Roto Grinders, they have him 26 minutes and 32 fantasy points. That to me seems a little more reasonable.
I thought 32 seems like the right number for fantasy points.
But you think 26 minutes is too light?
Probably, yeah. I mean, somebody's got to initiate offense. It's going to be him and LeVert and Struss. That's it.
Right.
That's all they have. They don't have one other guy who can actually initiate any form of offense.
I'll give you a couple of others. I'll give you a couple of other projections here.
Okay. They're going to lower his on SaberSim. That's what they do. They always overdo it and then they underdo it.
No, maybe they like that one. Maybe. Oh, is that you? Is that true? Let me see.
Hasn't happened yet, but it always seems to happen.
Let me see.
So yeah, as we expect, LeVert, Sam Merrill, and Craig Porter Jr. are all in the top 8 of.
Yeah, another site's got him at 32 as well, with 29 minutes.
That's the most if it was my guess, I would think his median would be somewhere in the 32 to 36.
Yeah, I might end up using that.
I just don't know how you still, I don't think it really matters because like even if he was projected for 27, I think you're still like almost
You're
locked.
still going to play him. I mean,
yeah. So Merrill, Porter, Levert, Struss. Yeah, it's going to be really, really tough not to play. I mean, Jared Allen was already kind of like a play anyway. I'm much less interested in him now, actually. But you've got a game stack just begging to be played. It's just like perfect.
Another place has him at 30. And then I see a consensus at 34.
How many minutes do we think Merrill plays? My guess, so Merrill's projected to play 22 minutes. Let me just point out that with these guys available, Merrill just has been playing more than that. Like, and in closer games, he put it, okay, not been playing. He played 24 minutes in the last game in a tight game. So I don't know why he's projected at only 21 minutes. I think it's just because it's hard to project him because he was like going from not playing at all to playing 24 minutes. So
how old do you think Porter's going to be in like the lottery?
90%.
Think so?
Yeah, maybe because it's the lottery, 85. I don't know, somewhere in that range. Cleveland lineup is out. So tell us what it is. It's out.
Congratulations. Yeah, exactly.
That's not what it is. It's not good for me to go looking through a million different things. All right. So it's Porter, Struss, Okoro, Wade, Allen. Exactly what you'd expect. Great news for playing Levert because it'll keep Levert's ownership from 90% to like 40%.
You know, one ownership projection I have for Porter is 94.5%. Yeah. Another one is 32.
That's just not updated.
That's not updated.
Look, y'all can try and get your. That's cool, K9. I was just messing with you. You guys can try to fade Greg Porter Jr. I really don't know what you're doing if you are trying to fade him though, because basically we've been desperate trying to figure out a lineup all day long, trying to figure out lineups that make sense, and finally now we have a way to make it happen. I guess if you fade him, the answer to fading him is play Struss and Levert and Merrill. If you're going to fade him, that's it. It's the only route I can see.
So we get back down to that question again: is how many guys on Cleveland is too many, right?
And is Porter available if you do exactly what I just said? Those are my two burning questions because it is kind of interesting to take that other angle, you know.
What?
Like let's say they start off down 16-0 and he's playing horrible. Levert brings him back, and then they don't even start him in the second half, and he only plays like a few more minutes. That's possible. It's just unlikely. They really like him. There was a trade that I proposed. This is not, and I heard this was from a GM. This was from a person that, like literally at the Ringer that I respect the most. And there was rumors. This is crazy that they were going to do a Craig Porter based package for Zach LaVine. Just to give you an idea of how some people started to feel about this kid, which is bizarre. I don't buy it that they were really going to trade Craig Porter for Zach LaVine, but it was interesting to see.
What year is he? Is he a rookie?
No, second year, I believe. Okay. I'm not 100% sure on that though.
Do you know where he went to college?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh no, he's a rookie. I'm sorry, my fault.
Whatever happened to Kevin Porter Jr.?
He got hurt. Oh no, he got suspended, right? I can't remember if it was hurt or suspended before the year. Oh, he played for. That's right. He played for what's it called in college? Was it the? Did he play for Iowa State? No, is it Iowa State or Wichita State? That's what it was.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, they had some good years while he was there. All right, I do think I have to run because I'm a little panicky because my lineups are Mitchell flooded and have none of this stuff.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't play him.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it anymore. Hey, you know what? It's contrarian.
It is. But he'll be over. He'll be like 0.25% on though.
Yeah.
There'll be people that have him.
Yeah, it is suspended. USC is where they're saying Craig Porter Jr. I thought Craig Porter Jr. went to Wichita State. What am I missing? Did he transfer? Maybe he transferred. I really thought he played for Wichita State. Huh. All right, I'm going to run in a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna go as well. I'm gonna
Kevin
update.
Porter Jr.,
I'm gonna update the projections within, just so you guys know, within the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
And bless you. And I think we should be in good shape here.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, Craig Porter Jr.'s projection is coming down on FanDuel. On DraftKings. I'm sorry, on SaberSim.
Okay.
Down to 37, probably going to go down a little further. Yeah, Scott, I think that makes plenty of sense. Jaylen Brown is fine, but like you're coming off 42 minutes in an overtime game on a back-to-back against one of the fastest teams in the NBA. There is a chance that just turns into a total bust. But yeah, I do have Jaylen Brown, but I don't think most of your lineups. I don't think you need to prioritize like that on a 10-game slate. There's a million great spend ups. Like even if he has a great game and scores 50, there's plenty of guys who are 8K going to score 50. Terry Rozier is going to get like 60.
Yeah, his projection went down to 30. What, 37 there now?
It's 37, but I bet you it drops a little bit more. But still, it's the only way to fade it, in my opinion. I don't know, would be to play the Merrill, all three of the other guys I mentioned, because there just has to be things scored in that game. Like They're playing at home against one of the worst defenses in the NBA. So, all right, good luck to you guys. Good luck, Sheets. Good luck, everybody.
You can shut this down.
All right, good luck to everybody tonight. I'll see you in the